one of the board members like to read that into the record for us, please?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'll read the application. The petition of Kunal Bafna, located at 248 Wynn Street, Burlington, Mass, as shown on Burlington Assessor's records as the following book page 65790-92, map and parcel reference 23-184. The applicant is seeking a variance to construct a two-car garage with living area above to be located off the left side of the existing dwelling. The proposed addition is to be 13.4 feet off the front property line, parallel to Mill Street. Violation of the Burlington zoning bylaw, Article 5, Section 5.2.0 requires a minimum setback of 25 feet off the front property line.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Is the applicant online? Okay, I'm not seeing anyone for the applicant.
Mr. Chairman, I can see his namesake up here. I don't know where he is, but
he did send a message. I think he's in the chat. I think he's saying he's having issues with the audio. So he was just asking for a moment, I believe, to try and fix his audio.
Okay, all right, we'll give him a minute.
Hello?
Hello?
Yep, hi. I can hear you now.
Okay. If you could please give us an overview of your application.
Sure. I'd like to share my screen. Give me 1 second. Is that okay if I can share my screen?
Yes.
All right. All right. Share screen, one share. All right. You guys can see my screen?
See it. Oh, I can.
All right. Give me 1 second, guys. It's loading. My computer is taking 1 second. All right, I'm ready. Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Thank you for your time today. I'm Kunal Bafna, and I'm here with my wife, Ruchira Kothari, and we are the owners of property at 248 Wynn Street. We'll be representing in regards to the variance application covered in this presentation. Before we get started, I wanted to quickly provide an overview of our property. We are located at 248 Wynn Street, which is the corner property on intersection of Wynn Street and Mill Street. The mailbox and the official address of the property is of Wynn Street, and the front or the main entrance of the house is also on Wynn Street, or you can say it is facing the Wynn Street. However, our current driveway is on Mill Street, so we turn on Mill Street and then park the car in the driveway. Also, the rear of our plot is a wooded area or a jungle covering around 12,000 square feet. So you can see from this satellite image taken from Google that shows the house, the driveway, the street names. So this is the Wynn Street over here, and this is the Mill Street. And you can also see the trees that we have in the backyard and along the Wynn Street. So the variance request is We want to build a 2-car garage with a living space above, which would be connected to our existing house from the uh, sorry, which would be connected to our existing house from the left side, that is the Mill Street side, where our current driveway is. And for this request, we are not meeting the required criteria of one of the zoning bylaws requirements that we'll see in the next slide. So as per the zoning law, Article 5, Section 5.2.0, the setback should be 25 feet from the front yard and 15 feet on the side. This image is taken from the bylaw PDF, and you can see the red box highlighted here that shows the requirement. So to reiterate, the required setbacks are the front should have 25 feet from the road and the side and rear should have 15 feet distance. In the same zoning law PDF, Article 2, Section 2.6.8 is given to determine the front of the property. And the law states that the front of the property is determined by the side that is adjacent to the public way, which the town or the clerk certifies and is maintained and used as a public way, as per the highlighted section in green. So based on this law, the front of the house qualifies as the one facing on Wynn Street, as it is the main public way of the town. However, as I mentioned earlier, our property is located on an intersection, and so it is a corner plot. So the zoning bylaw has a different rule for the corner plots. Based on Article 2, Section 2.12.10, which is specifically to identify the front of the property that is located on the corner lot. It mentions that the shorter street should be considered as the front line as per the yellow highlighted text you see on the screen. Therefore, in our case, the side of the property facing the Mill Street now becomes the front of the property, I mean. Now that we have taken a look at the zoning laws to identify the setbacks and identify the front of the property, let's take a look at the proposed plan for the addition that we would like to do. This certified plot plan shows the proposed addition and the setback lines. This plan has also been submitted along with the other documents to the town clerk's office and is available for review. The small rectangle that you see on the left of the house here is the proposed addition for the 2-car garage. The key item to note on this picture is the angle of the Mill Street that it comes in at. Let me show you the next slide that provides a closer view of the proposed addition. As you see here, for the proposed addition of the 2-car garage, for only one of the corners of that addition is not meeting the required setback criteria. And the main reason for that is due to the shape of the lot and the angle at which Mill Street comes in. The primary reason that we are seeking the variance is there is no other option to add a garage on any other side of the property, as there is not enough space available on the back of the house, or if we add it from Wynn Street, which is to the right of the house, it raises the following concerns. We would be too close to Wynn Street, so the driveway won't be big enough to have the car turn around. As the Wynn Street is so busy at all times of the day, it seems very risky for us to back in or back out. The most important reason is that the ground level is not consistent from Wynn Street to the back of our house. The Wynn Street is elevated and our backyard has a slope. So if we add a driveway, it would be at a lower height than that of a Wynn Street, and it would create a downward slope from Wynn Street to enter the driveway or the garage. This would be very risky during the snow and winter months to get out of the driveway and may create life-threatening situations for us. Also, as we have a lot of trees close to and along the Wynn Street that we saw in the satellite image, to create this driveway, we'll have to cut a lot of trees. We would also lose significant amount of backyard space if we build on that side. And if we want to make up for that lost space, we will again have to cut more trees from the rear of the lot. And I don't believe that is allowed. Also, we have 2 kids, 3-year-old and 6-year-old, and building a garage with a driveway on Wynn Street seems very risky given the speed limit of the Wynn Street, which is 35 miles. Apart from all these natural conditions and the town rules, we would also have to redo a lot of things that are existing within the house. Like the HVAC unit is located outside in the back. We have oil heating, so our oil refill outlet is on the back. The exhaust from the HVAC unit has the outlet at the same place. So that would have to be moved as well, as we would add additional. So by approving this variance, we have confirmed that we are not creating any issues for the neighbors or the town itself. We have confirmed that this addition will not block air or light to the adjacent property or increase hazard from fire to the adjacent property and the surrounding neighbors. It will not impair public health, safety, comfort, moral, or for all residents of the town. It will not diminish property values within the neighborhood. Neither will it create any traffic or create nuisance. We have also confirmed that this addition won't affect in any way in public expenditure that the town does. If this variance is approved, it will help us in using the same driveway that we have been using since we moved in. And given the shape of the lot and the angle of the street, we can use the space appropriately. It will also prevent us from cutting down a lot of trees, which is very important to us. And the topmost benefit is it will allow safety to me and my family by driving out on Mill Street, which is less busy, and also provide safety to our cars and other people on the road. Of course, it will also allow us to use the BCAT space that we love and spend a lot of time all year round. So with this, I appreciate the opportunity to present the case, and thank you very much for your time and attention. Are there any questions that I can answer?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we'll go around the board and see if anyone has any questions. Jim, we'll start with you. Do you have any questions?
Yes, I do. So, so looking at your house, it's the addition you're proposing is on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
So the closest corner to Mill Street is 13.4 feet.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know if it's a question or an observation. So I measured my car. My car is not a big car. It's a Honda Accord, and that's 15 feet long. So you can't even you don't intend to even put a car in the driveway. And the only reason I'm asking is it seems to me that if you do, to me it's a safety concern because that's a pretty busy street, you know, when you're turning on to Mill Street from Wynn Street.
Yep, I totally get it. And so to address that particular concern, there would be space left. So if you're looking at my screen, so you see where my black car is. So I will have additional space right up to the tree line over here where we can park. So all these cars, like there are 3 cars that can be parked in this space over here, additional three cars that we have measured. And with the garage, we are not planning to park definitely outside the garage because of the exact same reason that you mentioned. But if there are any additional cars that come over, we have space next to it right on this area where we can park.
So you're completely widening the driveway.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't get it.
So you're extending the existing driveway beyond its current
Yeah.
footprint.
Yeah, so we would have the driveway up until this line you see over here. Plus, we can, if required, park on the lawn over here or convert that into a driveway as well.
Okay. Which I'm just curious, what is your intent of the whole project? Is it to gain additional square footage in living space, or is it to actually have a garage? Because I know you had a garage there before that you converted, right?
Correct. So yeah, the first garage we had was really small. As you said, it was the house is built in 95, and the car that we have is an SUV that never fit into it. So we wanted to build a garage so that our big car fits into it. That is the primary purpose. And the main reason is, as I have kids, it's easier during the snow and the rain and the cold months to get in and get out. Um, and now that we would be adding space over here, we might also add a living area above it. So the primary reason is the garage. And the secondary reason, now that we are getting the space, we might add the living area. We would like to add the living area as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mark, any questions?
I do agree with Mr. Sheridan. I think that it is fairly narrow there, and if you have visitors to that property, that you wouldn't want them parking on or near Mill Street. I do agree that is a busy, even though the applicant says that Wynn Street is busy, Mill Street is a busy street as well. So I think you have to be careful to be somewhat off that. Maybe the remedy is to expand the driveway into what would be considered, the left backyard of the premises. But those are my comments, and I'll just reserve.
All right, John.
Yeah, that
John, are you still online?
Hello?
Oh, I can hear you now.
All right, sorry about that. So, as you go out the edges of the driveway, the sidewalk line on the plot plan that I'm looking at appears to be at a couple, 2 to 3 feet to the length of his driveway. We've come across this plenty of time where they'll show you where the property line is, but really the street line is, a foot or two, maybe 3 feet out sometimes. So I'm wondering if that's not the case here. I think the applicant gave a great presentation. I think the shape of the house, the way the property sits and the way the house sits on the property and all the different grades on the property, I think he's met his burden on the topography of the land type thing. I mean, I am interested to hear what all the neighbors have to say. But I personally, I think it would work, but that's my opinion.
Okay, thank you. Joe?
Yeah, how you doing? I kind of agree. If you take the 13.4 to the lot line, and there should be another additional 6 feet from that lot line to the actual street. So you definitely can get a car there. It is close, but if you bring the asphalt closer to the neighbors, the slope of the land might bring the water or the driveway water closer to that property line as well. So I think keeping the driveway away from the neighbors, keeping that water controlled onto their property is more important. That's all I have to say. Thanks.
Thank you. Adam, any comments, questions? Adam?
Or can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, good. No, nothing additional. I agree with what has been said. I like the presentation as well. It does leave a short amount of space, but nothing new or additional to say.
Okay. I had a couple of questions for the applicant. And I like your presentation. I think you did a good job with the parts of the bylaw. But I guess my first question is, if on the plan it just shows a 15-foot setback off of Wynn Street, Do you know what the distance from the house to the street is on there? Is it more than 25 feet or?
So the question is on this side.
Yeah.
I would not know the exact. Let me try to zoom in, but I can definitely. So no, I don't have that information on
Yeah.
hand.
Okay. Where I'm going with this is, I'm not sure if it was the person who drew the plan or the building department. I'm not really convinced that Mill Street is your front yard, as opposed to Wynn Street. Um, it needs to be one or the other, obviously, but Mill Street doesn't have 100 feet of frontage, so I don't know how that could be your front yard, which in my opinion would make that a side yard setback, um, which is allowed to have only one be a side yard and one be a front yard. So if Wynn Street was compliant at 25 feet, that would change things a little bit.
Yep.
It doesn't change. It just, it makes it 15 feet that you're asking for, like a 1.5 foot variance as opposed to a 11.5 foot variance.
Correct.
And kind of along with that as well, the position of the garage, did you consider moving it not too much more, but a little bit closer to Wynn Street? Because if
Yep.
it was a 15-foot setback and you could move it a little bit closer to Wynn Street, you might be outside the setback altogether.
Yep. So we did consider that option, but again, this area over here has a significant amount of slope, and we thought like move, and we have our electrical meters and all the electricity come on this corner of the house. So we'll have to move everything over there if we move too close over there. So that is the reason this is what we thought of. But as you said, like if 15 feet is allowed on the side yard, we can like right now it's 13.4. We can adjust, like this is a 2-car garage, right? So the second car garage, which is on this side, we can make sure that it's 15 feet away from the setback line. That works. So we can shorter the garage by 1.6 feet. So did I answer the question or?
My microphone was muted. Yeah, that answered the question. I'm gonna think about that a little bit while we hear from the neighbors. So, is there anyone on the call that would like to speak on this matter? Please introduce yourself and let us know your thoughts on this proposal. One at a time, please, if we can. I'm just gonna give it a minute in case anyone's having an issue with their microphone.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't hear anyone right now. Maybe I'll give other people a chance in a minute. We'll keep the public hearing open for now. I'd like to see what the board members have to say, what they think. Again, I'm not sure that the 25-foot setback is actually accurate here, and if you can keep the 15, I don't know if we grant the variance or get a determination from the building inspector whether he would even need it or not. I don't know what the rest of the board thinks about that.
Mr. Chairman, I thought I heard the applicant say that he'd be willing to move the garage towards Wynn Street so that the 15-foot side setback would put him out of a need for relief here.
Well, I think what he said was that he could make the garage 1.5 feet smaller or 1.6 feet smaller, and then it would be 15 feet. And then if it was a 15-foot setback there, then he would be compliant, wouldn't need a variance, in which case, but I don't want to tell him that he's all set with something like that without the building inspector agreeing, because
Okay.
then he'd be right back to where he started and having come back to us again.
So that seems, it seems to me that it's pretty, that's our, that's our path forward, is that we get a ruling from the building inspector on that side setback.
Right. To the applicant, did the building inspector say that it was a 25-foot setback, or is that just how you drew it on the plan and that's how he read it? Do you know?
That was the plan submitted, and then the inspector rejected the plan, saying that it needs to be 25 feet.
Okay. I think he might be basing that on how the plan was drawn. Do any other board members have any other thoughts on this?
I'm fine with going back to the building inspector first.
Yeah.
Seems appropriate.
Okay, so what we're thinking is there's actually the potential that you actually don't need a variance if we can get the correct interpretation from the building inspector. So what we'll do here, and any of the board members can speak up if they disagree, is we'll continue to our next meeting, which is in 2 weeks. And in the meantime, I can try to get an interpretation from the building inspector on whether that really should be a side yard or not. And if he says no, it should be a front yard, then we can continue the conversation as we've been continuing it. If he says that no, a side yard is appropriate, then you could withdraw the application and modify your plan to be only 15 feet off, and you'd be compliant. You wouldn't need a variance at all.
Got it.
I'll put it out. It's still open hearing, just in case anyone didn't get a chance to speak before. I'll put it out to the public if anyone would like to comment on this before we continue. All right. Not seeing any, but we're going to continue, so we'll keep the public hearing open. So I'll take a motion to continue, or any other comments from the board before we continue.
Make a motion to continue to the next meeting.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded to continue to our next meeting of March 16th. Roll call. Jim,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
John.
Aye.
And I'm gonna have Joe vote on this one. Joe.
Aye.
All right, and I vote aye. All right, so we'll see you in 2 weeks. If there's any questions that come up, I'll get you contact information from the application, and we'll reach out. But we should have a better direction at the next meeting.
Okay, just one quick question, Mr. Chairman. What's the next step for me over here? What is needed from my end?
Right now, we don't need anything from you. I have to follow up with the building inspector and get a solid determination from him, and then we can, if there's further questions for you, I can reach out and get that information.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for your time, everyone.
All right, thank you. Okay, the next item on our agenda, is a new hearing for signage at 300 District Ave as advertised. Is the applicant online?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the board. For the record, Christine Hung, attorney at Reamer and Bronstein and attorney for the applicant, row 34. With me tonight as part of the project team, I have Shore Gregory, who is a principal at row 34, Jim McDonald, the director of facilities at row 34, and Bob Tuttle, our sign vendor from NE Neon. Island Creek opened in the district in 2017, and they saw much success during that time. Last year, COVID hit, and as you all know, it negatively impacted the restaurant industry. So they are rebranding this location to Row 34, which is an affiliated entity. And by rebranding and renaming it, it will allow the company to streamline its marketing and operations under a single brand. The Row 34 will have a similar menu focusing on oysters and seafood, but the price point will be a little more economical. And in connection with the rebranding and the change of name, the applicant is seeking 3 signs. They are proposing 2 wall signs that are compliant in height but exceed the length. And those signs are proposed on the north and west elevation of the building. And 1 marquee sign, which will be over the entrance door on the north elevation side of the building. And while that sign is compliant in dimensions, a prior ZBA decision of no other signs are allowed, even if by right, is why this sign is part of this application tonight. As you know, from this is a unique location in that the restaurant is sandwiched in between other businesses, and that there is a shared rear parking in the back, so that it is, and the entrance is on the side of the building, not on the side facing District Ave. Excuse me. So therefore, placement of the sign is critical to direct patrons safely to the restaurant. And that's why the proposed signs on the north and the west elevation is important to guide patrons safely to the restaurant. So right now I'd like to just turn it over to Shore Greger, who just talk briefly about Row 34, and then we'll be happy to answer any questions that the board may have. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Christine, and Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. Thank you for letting us come before you to speak to the changes. As Christine mentioned, obviously COVID has been a challenge for the restaurant community as a whole. We're particularly grateful for the support of the Burlington community, as well as our landlord, National Development, who all of them have been incredible supporters and partners of ours as we've navigated through these challenging times. And we feel like this change is going to allow us to continue to be a contributing participant in the community for years to come, and are looking forward to the changes. As Christine mentioned, we have 2 other locations, one located in downtown Boston and another location in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. So this location here in Burlington would be the 3rd, and the ownership is the same ownership that existed under Island Creek Oyster Bar. So as Christine mentioned, happy to answer any specific questions as they come up.
Okay, thank you. We'll go around the board, and if there's any questions, we'll start with Adam.
I've reviewed the signs. I think they look, pretty similar to signs that are in that area. I don't really have any concerns so long as we kind of follow the same, normal restrictions such as like the 90 lumens and everything like that.
All right, thank you. Joe, any comments?
No, I do not have any comments.
All right, John?
I do have a question. I have no problem with the signs. I mean, I think it looks appropriate for the building and stuff like that. Everything looks fine. I was curious on the square footage, if we're adding to the square footage compared to the old signs.
The current square footage is 29.9 square feet. I know it's shorter in length. And the height, I don't know about the height of the former Island Creek Oyster, but the square footage of the Row 34 is 29.9 square feet.
All right, thank you. How many signs did they have up there for Island Creek?
Right now there's a total of 3 signs as well. So we're just replacing 3 for 3.
You just replaced them. Yeah, it seems like housekeeping to me. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, Mark, questions, comments?
No questions.
Okay, Jim?
No, I'm good. I think they look nice.
Okay, I don't really have any questions. I just want, well, one comment. Just it is 3 for 3 on the number of signs, but existing there's one that faces District Ave, and that one's just coming out altogether, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, that was all I really had. So this is a public hearing, so I'll put this out to the public. If anyone would like to speak on this, just try to take them one at a time. All right, I am not seeing anyone. So if someone would, any more comments or questions from the board or motions?
Make a motion to approve a special sign permit for 300 District Ave to allow installation of 3 signs to be located on various building facades in accordance with the plans dated 12/29/2020. Drawing number 1.0 and 1.1. Are they illuminated? I believe they are, right? So it's we're looking for the illumination to be no more than 90 lumens, and no other signs on the building, even if by right.
That's fine.
Second.
Okay,
Second.
all right, we have a motion and a second, so we'll do a roll call vote. So we'll start with Jim,
Aye.
Mark, Mark,
Aye.
okay, John,
Aye.
and Adam,
Aye.
and I vote aye, 5-0. Oh,
Uh,
wait a second, we didn't close the public hearing. All right, I'm gonna go back, let's close the public hearing and then we'll go back and we'll do the motion again. Sorry about that.
Do you need a motion?
Yeah, I need a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All right, motion is made and seconded to close the public hearing. All right, Jim,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
all right, Mark, I got Mark. John,
Aye.
Adam,
Aye.
and I vote aye. All right. Public hearing is closed. All right, Mark, you want to just reiterate your motion?
Sure. Motion to approve the special sign permit for 300 District Ave to allow installation of 3 signs to be located at various building facades in accordance with the plans dated December 29th, 2020. Sheet numbers 1.0 and 1.1. And the illumination to be no more than 90 lumens, and that there be no other signs on the building, even if by right.
Second.
Okay, motion is made and seconded. Jim,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Adam,
Aye.
and I vote aye. All right, 5-0. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Thank you all, and everyone stay healthy. Thanks, Joellen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, the next item on our agenda is a new hearing for 54 Burlington Mall Road. As advertised. Is the applicant online?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm Craig Murphy.
Okay, if you could please give us an overview of your application.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Chairman Murray and the board. Thank you so much for your time for this. My name is Craig Murphy from CRG Graphics. The sign proposed is for Charles Schwab has been the current location. At this current location, a member of the community for well over 20 years. The sign proposed was denied for 3 reasons. The first is that the sign is larger than 4 feet tall. The second reason is that if the sign is installed other than the first floor level, the sign shall be 6 foot or less in length of the wall. The sign can be the full extent of the wall if it was on the first floor. Thirdly, according to decision 11969, all other signs on the building, even if by right, are prohibited. So I wanted to speak about the second reason first, which states other than the first floor level, a sign shall be 6 foot in length. The sign is installed on the second floor. I would like you to consider it as if it was installed on the first floor, though. You all know this area is very hilly, and the first floor is actually below grade. The client calls the below grade level the basement level. It's actually pretty useless. If you look at the drawing that we submitted, you will see that the sign looks like and should be treated as if it was installed on the first floor. There is no other level that can be seen in the drawing because it's hidden towards the back of the building. The assessor's card on your Patriot system states that the story height for this building is actually one, and in living units is also just 1. In either case, the sign is not greater than 6 foot and therefore is not an issue for the second reason of denial. With this said, I'd like to go to the first reason, which is the sign shall be 4 feet or less in height. Our first floor designation will allow this sign to be the full length of the wall, which in this case is 27 feet. If this is the case, a client can get a sign 27 foot long, maybe about 4 feet tall, as long as the letters aren't more than 2 feet in height. Although Burlington would allow this huge sign, this larger sign does not work for our client. And this reason being is that Charles Schwab has spent an enormous amount of money in their branding. The branding is all about the blue square that you see on the drawing. We all know the Nike swoosh. You don't need to see the words to know that it is a Nike brand. Believe it or not, in the investment world, the Charles Schwab is the same as the Nike swoosh. The traffic just needs to see the blue square to know that they have arrived at the current location. If we made a much larger sign that was not a square, it would not be as recognizable as this much smaller sign. The 6 foot square sign already looks like a postage stamp on the wall proposed. You can see that on the drawing. It is my opinion as a designer, and I sincerely hope you'll agree, that a even smaller sign would not look proper. The 6 foot sign is actually the perfect size for this spot. There is a traffic problem here that is solved with this sign. The building is from such an angle that you cannot see the front of the building if you are traveling towards Cambridge Street from Middlesex Turnpike. A good portion of Charles Schwab clients come from this direction. They come from Route 128 and get on Middlesex Turnpike and turn onto Mall Road, and then the problem arises because you can't see Charles Schwab until you pass the building. You will note that there is a traffic light at this location assisting folks from the hospital across the street. This sometimes adds to the confusion as drivers are paying attention to the lights as they are trying to locate Charles Schwab. This sign location and size is designed to help all traffic see the location. I have my client here that can speak on this hardship personally, but I thought I did. I don't see Matthew Reel here. He's from Charles Schwab. He lives locally and is the branch manager.
Hey, Craig.
Oh, he is here.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah, I am present this evening. Thank you all for hearing this tonight. Yeah, sure, I can absolutely speak to that. On numerous occasions, not so much now, of course, but in previous times, we did get numerous instances where staff members were mentioning to me that the clients would drive past, or they get to the intersection and they do a double take. And I just, I sometimes I think about the demographics we serve, where oftentimes they're older clients, and I just I think about their safety with identifying the location easily and being able to not have any additional difficulties at the intersection where it's quite busy already.
Yeah, so from Matt's account, and I've heard this from other Charles Schwab personnel too. You can see it's an ongoing issue, and we feel that this sign can solve this problem, the size and the placement. The last reason of denial is, of course, the previous decision that says no other sign can be there by right. We just feel that that's a little overreaching and too restrictive for Burlington and for the client or future clients of this building. And we hope that can just be appealed as well. Is there any questions?
Thank you. Yeah, we'll go around the board and see if they have any comments.
Thanks, Mike.
We'll start with Jim.
Thank you. No, I don't. I think it's appropriate for that space, and it's facing Mall Road, so I think it would be good to be able to identify quickly and easily.
Okay. Mark, any comments?
I think Mark said he's totally in favor of it.
Mark, you're still muted. There you go.
I apologize. I do agree with the applicant that you know, there's a need in this area because of the traffic, and also understanding the nature of that particular building. I do agree. I think it's more in the nature of a first floor than it is a second floor, and so I'm going to reserve, but I think it's appropriate.
Thank you, Mark.
All right. John, comments?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Joe?
I do not have any comments.
All right. Adam?
No comments at the moment.
All right. I am also all right with this. I don't have any questions. This is a public hearing, though, so I'm going to open it up to the public. If anyone would like to speak on this matter, please just try to take you one at a time. Just going to give it a minute in case someone's having trouble with their microphones. All right. I'm not seeing anybody, so put it back to the board. Any more comments or motions to close the public hearing?
Motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Motion is made and seconded to close the public hearing. Jim?
Sorry, aye.
Mark?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
And I vote aye. All right, the public hearing is closed. Anything else from the board or motions?
Motion to approve the sign permit for 54 Mall Road for the installation of the sign facing the Mall Road to be installed in accordance with the plan that was submitted, dated June 23rd, 2020, and is sheet number 2.0. And if it is to be illuminated, that there be no more than 90 lumens, and that there be no other signs on the building, even if by right.
Second.
Okay, the motion is made and seconded. Roll call. Jim?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
And I vote aye. 5-0. You're all set.
Hey, just occurred to me, listening to Mark. We are leaving the existing signs on the building. I don't want that to be a problem for you folks. The signs you really can't see too well.
Yeah, you're not changing any other
No,
signage on the building,
no,
right? Yeah, then
no. Okay,
that's all set. I believe we understood that.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a great night, everybody.
You too.
You as well.
Okay. The next item on our agenda is the minutes for February 16th. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes?
Yes.
Yeah, if there's no comments on them, we'll take a motion.
Motion to approve the minutes of the meeting dated February 16th, 2021.
Second.
Okay, motion is made and seconded. Roll call. Jim?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Adam?
Aye.
And I vote aye. 5-0. I'm getting sick of these roll call votes, I'll tell you that. All right, that's it for this. I just not really. I don't want to get into a discussion with it, but just a brief update on Mountain Road. The applicant is still working on submitting further documentation. There is a chance that it'll be continued past our next meeting, but we will see where that goes.
So just a question about that, Mike.
Yep.
So the peer group review that we approved last meeting,
Yep.
will we get something from them before our next meeting with?
It definitely
No.
won't be before the next meeting. No, they haven't submitted the documentation that the peer review would need to review. So they're working out the easement issues first, and if they can't resolve those, there's no reason to get into the peer review and all the other potential issues.
Okay, got
So
it.
that's why it might get pushed off further than the next meeting.
Okay.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, any update regarding the opinion, the legal opinion on the easement?
That's what they're working on getting together. So I don't have any more information than that. It's just that it hasn't been submitted yet.
Right.
So that's it for now. We'll see, and we'll have to continue if that's the case. But just a quick update on that.
Nothing new has come in, so
Right.
that's
All right.
it.
That's it. Joel, what do we have for? Do we have anything new? No.